Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today with my review on the Fenty Beauty Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. Obviously, I do not have a full size of it. I have a miniature of it because this foundation is $34. And I'm not just going to blow that kind of money on a foundation. I know it's Sephora, they have a really good return policy and everything, although supposedly not quite as good as it used to be. Just what I've heard. I've only ever returned like one thing to them. But yeah, this came up as a deluxe sample code one time when I was making an order, so I got it. My shade is in, let's see, 150? Yeah, 150. I probably should have gotten 130, but they only had certain 4 or 5 of them available, so I just kind of picked what I thought would go. Alright, this is a little dark on me, but like I said, it was close enough for testing purposes at least. Right. So some quick facts. This foundation has 40 shades. It was one of the first to really get super famous for coming out the gate with 40 shades. Now, plenty of other makeup companies have come out with foundations that had a lot of shades. MAC is a really good one that always has a lot of shades. Makeup Forever has a lot of shades. Jouer has a lot of shades. And who am I thinking of? Cover FX almost always has a lot of shades. They were also brands that also had them, but I think Fenty got famous for it because they didn't wait to expand their shade range when they got more famous or got more demand for it. In case you don't know, which you probably do. This brand is the singer Rihanna's makeup brand, so I'm not surprised that she came out with a lot of shades because, among other things, I'm sure she would want something to match her. Now, this company does not test on animals. It is $34 for 1.08 ounces or 32 milliliters, or if you want it by the ounce, it is $31.48 an ounce in US dollars. So what this thing claims, it claims to be medium coverage, matte finish, skin types for normal, dry, oily, and combination. I hate it when foundations say that they're made for everybody, because when they're made for everybody, they're usually not made for anybody quite right. And what else you need to know, foundation is one of those areas in the beauty industry that has a big void for women of extreme ends of the shade spectrum. This is very true. And so I wanted to make sure that women of all skin tones were covered so they could be included in what I created, Rihanna, the brand founder. I'm reading all of this off of Sephora. Now it says it has medium coverage. I would say it's more light to medium. When I think medium or even full coverage, I tend to compare more to the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, which also has a pretty decent shade range. Not great. Well, honestly, for a long time, it was considered a great foundation shade range until a couple of companies like, say, Cover FX started coming out with these really broad shade ranges. So now it's just considered decent to good, I guess. Like, there's still some areas they could fill. In comparing it to that, I would consider it more to light to medium. You can build it up. It does work with both a sponge and a brush. I tried it with both, and it does seem to work well with the majority of primers that I tested it with. The ones that I mainly wore with it were a couple of different pore filling primers, and my main primer of choice at the time was the NYX Angel Veil primer, was what I was usually wearing. I would not say that this is full on matte though. I would say it's more of what they call a soft matte. You know, you're not going to get that complete flat, dry, almost dry looking foundation coverage. It looks a little more natural. Honestly, I would say this is honestly really similar to the Catrice HD foundation that I reviewed, which I will link the review for that down below. And I didn't really like that foundation, honestly. I got really greasy, and the thing is, that didn't agree with a lot of primers. The Fenty actually does work with more primers overall, which, considering you're paying a lot more for this one, I would hope that it would work with more stuff. I have not tried the Fenty primer in particular, so I don't know about that. So I will insert a picture of myself before makeup and with the foundation on it here. And then I will insert a 0 hour, 4 hour, and 8 hour wear test. I only do up to 8 hour wear test because that's all I really need, but you can kind of guess from there where it would go. So I still got pretty decently oily with this. Not as oily as I got with the Catrice HD foundation, because I got hella oily with that thing. But the Catrice has been called by a lot of people a lower cost dupe to the Fenty. And I said last time in my Catrice reviews, like, I hope not, because I really want to like the Fenty and I hate the Catrice. Although I've heard the Catrice has come out with more shades, which is good because it had like 4 when I reviewed it. And I think I'm want to be really hard on this foundation because, you know, I was told that this was a great foundation, that it was going to be super holy grail for my oily ass skin, and it's okay for my oily skin. I have stuff from the drugstore that works better. Hell, the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 long ass name, that works better for my skin. Like, as far as a little bit more coverage and keeping me more matte throughout the day. I really don't think this is worth the $34. I mean, if you really like the Catrice, but you can't find your shade in that, definitely go for the Fenty. You'll probably like it even better. I definitely liked it better than I like the Catrice. And I do struggle finding a shade match for myself, but it's not even on the same level as people of color struggle finding a shade match for themselves. And the thing is, I've heard a lot of dry skin people don't like this foundation either. So, like I said, I don't like it when a foundation claims to work for everybody, because when they try to work for everybody, they really only hit down the middle. So, not only am I really oily, I live in a very humid area right now, and I'm testing this, you know, mid to late summer, so of course it's going to get oily on me. I bet I would like this more in the winter. Maybe even the spring, because we don't really get a fall here. It's still pretty dang hot and pretty dang humid all throughout fall. But yeah, so overall, I mean, it's a good foundation, and I'm nervous about saying I don't like something from Fenty, because Fenty fans will jump down your throat if you don't like something from Fenty. You know, it definitely changed the game and brought to light the fact that we need a better foundation shade range, and not just numbers. I think the Beauty Blender company learned recently that you can't just throw out, oh, we have this many number shades of foundation. No, it's got to be a real, like, range to it. It can't be, you know, 24 of the same color and then a couple on either end. So overall, this is a good foundation. I wouldn't pay $34 for it, but I have stuff at the drugstore that works just as good, if not a little bit better, for my personal needs. I would not say that this is a bad foundation, though. If you like kind of lighter to medium coverage, if you like not super matte, but decently matte, this might be for you. Just not quite good enough for me. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I do really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you later. Bye.